Back in the lab for another demo today. This time it's going to be density, and it simply uses water, a little bit of food coloring, and talks about or looks at the differences in density with temperature. So we're going to have a couple of samples of hot water, a couple of samples of cold water. Let's take a look. Now this one is a little bit delicate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the bottles of the warm water. These are the ones that I put a little bit of red food coloring in. I'm going to put it in the container here, and I'm going to take one of the blue containers. This is room temperature, cooler water. Just use blue to kind of mark that it was the cooler stuff. And I'm going to, hopefully, I'm going to do it this way, with the delicacy of a brain surgeon, what I want to do is take this, turn it over, and set it down on top of this one. And then line them up as well as I can. And carefully get them to sit on top of each other. And watch what happens. Yeah, I spilled a little bit, but you know, oh well. You can kind of see the colors are mixing pretty readily. The example is we've got the colder water up on top, the warmer water below, and as soon as I separated them, they mixed quite readily. And in fact, you could see the purplish of the red and the blue mixed together. The cold water, being more dense, fell into the warmer water, some of which moved up into the upper container. And for these two, I'm going to attempt to have the cold one on the bottom. I think I'll use a piece of plastic this time. Take this one, turn it over, and line it up if I can on this one, and pull the plastic away. Carefully watch my alignment on these. Up we go. There. Hopefully, it'll sit there together. Put that away. There. A little bit of drippage, but not too much. And I want you to notice, unlike this one, where we had the cold on top and the warm on the bottom. Now we have the cold on the bottom, the warm on top, and it's been several seconds, approaching a minute here, and they really haven't mixed with each other. Okay? There's a very little mixing has gone on. The less dense warm water is still up here, the more dense colder water still down below. Let's let it go for a few moments, shall we?
A few moments later.
And here we are several minutes later. And you can see the one that had the cold on top, the warm on the bottom, that's all completely mixed now. The color seems to be that uniform light violet. Over here, no appreciable mixing seems to have occurred over the last 10 minutes since I was away doing important things. And frankly, when I've done this in a classroom before and just leave it up there, by the end of the class meeting, it'll still look about like that. Even as it cools down, there is little mixing that occurs over the course of about an hour or so. So there you go, density and what materials, lighter density will float on top of a material of heavier density and so forth. It's kind of a cool demo. Colorful, I kind of like it. Hope you did too. Well, we'll talk to you later, folks.